Two dads, two mindsets. I had two fathers. One was my real dad, well-educated, a PhD, working for the education system. The other was the father of my best friend, a high school dropout who became one of the richest men in Hawaii. I called them Rich Dad and Poor Dad, two men, two philosophies, two ways of thinking. One taught me to work hard for security. The other taught me to work smart for freedom. And that made all the difference in my life. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Rich Dad told me, the poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. Poor Dad always said, go to school, get good grades, and find a secure job. But Rich Dad gave me a challenge. He hired me for almost nothing at one of his stores. When I complained, he smiled and said, that's your first lesson. If you work only for money, you'll be a slave to it for life. Instead, he encouraged me to look for opportunities, not just wages. That's when I learned to see value, not just price. Lesson 2. Assets versus liabilities. One of the most important ideas in the book is this. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of it. Most people think their home is their biggest asset. But Rich Dad challenged that. Does your house put money in your pocket every month? If not, it's a liability. Assets include rental properties, stocks that pay dividends, businesses that run without your daily effort. Liabilities are your personal car, credit card debt, a big house with high maintenance costs. The rich get richer because they buy assets first. The poor and middle class get stuck buying liabilities they think are assets. Lesson 3. Financial education is power. Schools teach us math, history, literature, but not money. They teach us how to work for money, not how to make money work for us. Rich Dad taught me to read financial statements, understand cash flow, evaluate investments, spot risk. He said, you don't need a high IQ or degree. You need financial literacy. If you want to be rich, learn the language of money and speak it fluently. Lesson 4. Build systems, not just income. Poor Dad believed in a steady paycheck. Rich Dad believed in building systems that generate cash flow, even when you're sleeping. He started businesses, bought real estate, and invested. He focused on building passive income, not just working harder. He told me, don't climb the corporate ladder, own the ladder. Better yet, build your own. Lesson 5. Don't say, I can't afford it. Poor Dad would say, we can't afford that. Rich Dad would ask, how can we afford that? One shuts the mind, the other opens possibility. Rich Dad taught me, never say, I can't. Instead say, how can I? That shift in mindset turns you from a victim into a problem solver. And problem solvers become entrepreneurs. Lesson 6. Control your emotions around money. Two main emotions rule most people's financial lives: fear and desire. Fear of being broke makes them work hard. Desire for more makes them spend everything they earn, so they fall into the rat race. Work, earn, spend, borrow, repeat. Rich Dad said, if you don't master your emotions, your money will always master you. Financial freedom starts with emotional control. Lesson 7. Start small, grow consistently. Becoming rich doesn't happen overnight. It starts with small, consistent steps. Save a portion of your income. Invest in simple assets. Learn something about money every day. Read one book a month. Build your first side hustle. Success is not about doing one big thing. It's about doing small things right for a long time. Lesson 8. Earn passive income. Working hard can make you a living, but passive income makes you free. Forms of passive income: rental properties, dividend stocks, royalties, automated businesses. Rich Dad said, wealth is not measured in dollars. It's measured in how long you can live without working. If you stop working today, how many months can you survive? That's your true net worth. Lesson 9. School versus real world. School rewards students who memorize and obey. The real world rewards those who take risks and think creatively. Poor Dad feared failure. Rich Dad welcomed it. He said, "Failure is part of learning. The more you fail, the more you know." He even joked, "A real education begins when school ends." Lesson 10. Teach your kids about money early. Most people wait too long to teach kids about money. Rich Dad didn't give his son allowance. Instead, he gave him opportunities, selling, managing small ideas, dealing with people. He told me, "Don't raise children to be employees. Raise them to be thinkers, creators, and investors." We prepare our kids for exams, but we forget to prepare them for financial reality. Conclusion: wealth is a mindset. You don't need to be a genius, win the lottery, or invent something revolutionary. You just need to shift your mindset, understand money, take consistent action, be willing to learn and unlearn rich. Dad once said, "The poor and middle class work for money. The rich make money work for them." And that's not just a quote, it's a way of life. We've now reached the end of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If this book helped you shift your mindset about money, then the next one will push you even further, from thinking rich to acting fast. In the next audiobook, we'll explore The Millionaire Fastlane by M.J. DeMarco. While Rich Dad, Poor Dad teaches us how to think like the rich, The Millionaire Fastlane teaches us how to escape the 9-to-5, build scalable wealth, and retire young, not old. It's bold, it's brutally honest, and it challenges everything we've been told about money, success, and the so-called slow lane to retirement. So if you're ready to stop trading time for money, if you're ready to build a business that prints money while you sleep, then don't miss the next chapter in your financial education. The Millionaire Fastlane, coming up next.